Hello there, welcome back to Profneel. It's a pleasure having you here. A life lesson from a tandooriya. All our lives we think we learn only from our teachers, the elders, the educated illiterate folks. Certainly not from a gosh, illiterate villager. That too a tandooriya of all the people in the world. Yet at times they from whom we learn a lesson, from a life lesson. As a senior captain at the Suvarna Mahal in the fine dining restaurant of the Tajrambagh Palace Hotel, Jaipur, 1989, it was a beautiful evening. The 300 pack seating restaurant was full house, fine dining. A trio of foreign groups and others ensured it was going to be a lovely evening. And a very nice elite group of 4 ladies entered for dinner. They looked very important, and I recognized Bianca Jagger, incognito, wearing sunglasses even in the middle of the evening. She didn't want to be recognized. Bianca was still 1978 the wife of Mick Jagger of the Beatles fame. My resident manager, Mr. Ajit Chima, came to me, slided up to illiterate to whisper in my ear, "Neil, table number so and so. Bianca Jagger, take care of her, otherwise hell will follow." I realize you can't get more VIP than that. So there I run to my tandoori in the kitchen, tell him, "VIP guest hai, naan aur kebab. Laga jaldi chahiye." The tandooriya, the cook who works at tandoor, maybe the most illiterate among the staff in the hotel. We learn the finest unalloyed Punjabi expletives from him. His work is commendable. He is probably the most skilled cook accomplished to not only make the Indian breads, rotis and naans and the parathas, but also the kebabs. Remember, he puts his hands into a tandoor whose temperatures rise up to 450, 500 degrees centigrade for kebabs and even up to 600 degrees centigrade for the naans, the rotis and the parathas. Now we understand why the tandooriyas are temperamental. It's the sheer heat they bear. They retain their wit even at times in that most arduous time facing the heat. So that explains the letting of steam at times with the choices of expletives. But they're jovial by nature and they mean no harm. We also understand that at times they wish they were literate. As he had done a chat in the staff dining room with me over a cup of tea, told me that he had a son and a daughter whom he in his village, whom he was educating in an English medium school, the best school. So I would like them to become sahabs like you, so they can speak in English, unlike all of us, like me, unlike me who's illiterate. I empathize to tell him he may be not be able to write and speak in English, but he's got his own skills, and without him we are dependent on him. So we are just a messenger boys between him and the guest. But he is the man who's the expert with the skills, which I can't work a tandoor, but he can. But then he says, "Kya kare?" He says, "Majburi hai." So hence, I had to be a tandooriya. He replied a little poignant when that wish to be educated and to be literate, to like all of us, to speak in English, the typical aspiration of every villager in India. He replied with a chuckle on my telling him, "VIP guest hai, jaldi de de. Jaldi laga, naan, paratha," or I give him the order, the kebab, etc. And he replied with a chuckle, "Sorry, even if God comes, it'll take 20 minutes to be the naans and other unleavened breads. For a VIP also, I'm sorry, I exited to go in, explained it would take about 20 minutes. I served some papads and some smallies for them to enjoy their drink, thereby not being irate on the delay. But I informed them, I communicated to them that it'll take about 20 minutes. And as it is written on all the hotel menu cards that it takes 20 minutes for us to cook please bear with us for 20 minutes for us to cook the food. Within 20 minutes, the food was on the table, much to the guests and my satisfaction. The guest wished to compliment the chef. I suggested and wanted to get the tandooriya to be complimented. He would be ecstatic. Besides the affair, aware they would tip him handsomely, for he really cooked good food. I realized he wouldn't come into the restaurant if I told him the guests wished to compliment him. The complex of not knowing English and the ambience of the restaurant would be too much for him. I rushed in to tell him, GM Saab seated with some VIP guests wants to place his orders directly with you. That was normal. In a moment, he washed his hands, face, wiped his uniform clean to be presentable. I, holding his elbow, escorted him straight to the table alongside Bianca's to pivot and present him to them. He was trapped. He could not scoot. I let them know he didn't he didn't understand English, and they made up by standing up, much to discomfort, to, s- to and started clapping a bit to try to shake his hand, pat him on the back, shoulder. It was very good. He was embarrassed. Oh, when was the word? The poor chap didn't know what to do. After our duty hours, as we sat sipping tea and smoking a cigarette, he remarked, Sabji, you have me cornered out there. I had no chance of escape, but thank you. This is a huge amount of money. It was USD. I shall send it home to my wife. The blighter offered me, honestly, half the money, half the amount. Now I was touched. I had dissuaded him with that. I said, no, I am just the middleman. You did the hard work. It's all yours. You can consider all these cigarettes you whacked off me and are going to whack off me as a Guru Dakshina. And he asked me, well, how can I repay you? He jumped with a, how can I, illiterate, teach you a school educated in the 3 hours who can speak in English, teach you anything? I told him, my friend, you taught me a lesson today, a life lesson. No institute of hotel management can teach me. The lessons? We underestimate the importance of native intelligence, which is far superior to structured educational institution. What takes 20 minutes to cook no amount of hurrying up will help. I learned it was better to inform the guest. They all understand. Embrace the twist to enjoy the turn. Thank you.